In the world of modern technology, few companies are as influential as Nvidia. What began as a small graphics card manufacturer in the late 1990s has evolved into a global powerhouse, shaping the very foundation of the digital age. Today, Nvidia's reach extends far beyond gaming, touching nearly every aspect of our connected lives. Once a favorite among gamers, Nvidia now powers the artificial intelligence revolution with its advanced GPUs, the digital brains behind today's AI. These chips are the engines driving breakthroughs in self-driving cars, medical research, and even the algorithms that shape our social media feeds. In data centers across the globe, Nvidia's technology is the backbone of innovation, enabling companies and governments to process vast amounts of information at lightning speed. At the helm is Jensen Huang, the visionary CEO who transformed Nvidia into a trillion-dollar powerhouse. Huang's relentless pursuit of innovation and his bold bets on AI have made him one of the most influential figures in technology. His leadership style, marked by both technical brilliance and strategic foresight, has earned him respect from Silicon Valley to Wall Street. Huang's influence reaches the highest levels of global politics, making Nvidia a strategic asset akin to an oil giant of the past. Governments now see control over advanced chips as vital to national security and economic power, and Nvidia sits at the center of this new technological arms race. On the other side stands President Donald Trump, deep into his second term, championing economic nationalism and a hard stance against China. Trump's administration has made technology a central battleground in the ongoing rivalry between the world's two largest economies, pushing for American dominance in critical sectors like AI and semiconductors. Their meeting in December 2025 was no mere formality. It was a high-stakes negotiation at the intersection of commerce, innovation, and national security. Behind closed doors, the stakes were enormous. The future of American technological leadership, the fate of global supply chains, and the delicate balance of power between East and West. The outcome would shape not just Nvidia's future, but the global trajectory of artificial intelligence. Decisions made in that room would ripple across industries, affecting everything from the stock market to the way we live and work in the years to come. The world watched as the ambitions of a tech titan collided with the strategic imperatives of a superpower. In this pivotal moment, the fate of technology, business, and geopolitics hung in the balance, setting the stage for a new era in the global order. To understand the Trump-Huang meeting, you first need to grasp the concept of export controls. These are a set of government rules and regulations that restrict the sale or transfer of sensitive technology, software, and know-how to foreign countries. They're designed to protect national interests and prevent advanced technologies from falling into the wrong hands, especially when those technologies could be used for military or intelligence purposes. These controls aren't just about trade or economics. At their core, they're about national security. The goal is to prevent adversaries or potential rivals from acquiring what's known as dual-use technology, innovations that can be used for both civilian and military applications. This means that even seemingly harmless products, like advanced computer chips, can be subject to strict scrutiny if they have the potential to enhance a foreign military's capabilities.
Think of export controls as a vigilant gatekeeper, standing at the border and deciding which innovations, inventions, or pieces of intellectual property are safe to leave the country, and which must be kept at home to protect national interests. Take Nvidia's AI chips, for example. These powerful processors can drive breakthroughs in medical research, like diagnosing diseases or powering surgical robots. But the very same chips can also be used to develop advanced military systems such as autonomous drones or sophisticated surveillance networks.
That's why the US government is determined to keep these cutting-edge chips out of China's hands. Officials worry that if China gains access, it could rapidly accelerate its military modernization and challenge America's technological edge on the world stage.
Enforcing these export controls is a complex and ongoing process. It involves coordination between multiple government agencies, constant monitoring of new technologies, and a sharp focus on China's strategy of blending civilian and military innovation, a policy known as military-civil fusion.
The dilemma is clear. China is both a strategic competitor and one of the largest, most lucrative markets for American technology companies. US firms want to sell their products abroad, but doing so can sometimes mean empowering a rival. Cutting off sales to China can hurt American companies' bottom lines, limit their ability to invest in research and development, and even slow down global innovation.
It's a delicate balancing act, a true tightrope walk for policymakers and business leaders alike. They must weigh the urgent need to protect national security against the equally important need to compete and thrive in a global marketplace, where innovation and collaboration often cross borders.
President Trump confirmed his meeting with Nvidia's Jensen Huang, calling him a smart man and making clear the administration's red lines on tech sales to China.
This was more than a discussion. It was a moment of clarity, with billions at stake. Huang's visit to Washington was a direct lobbying effort as the administration weighed whether to let Nvidia sell a key line of AI chips to China.
The talks centered on export controls, with Trump demanding assurances that U.S. technology wouldn't boost China's military.
Huang argued for targeted policies that wouldn't cripple Nvidia's access to a vital market.
He also warned that fragmented U.S. regulations could stifle innovation, urging a unified federal approach. The stakes: America's tech leadership and the future of AI.
At the heart of the debate was Nvidia's H200 chip, a marvel of modern engineering, designed to push the boundaries of artificial intelligence and data processing. This chip wasn't just another piece of hardware. It represented the cutting edge of American innovation, a symbol of the country's technological leadership in a fiercely competitive global market. To comply with strict export rules, Nvidia engineered the H200 to cap its performance just below the threshold that would trigger a ban. This careful calibration was a strategic move, allowing the company to continue serving international customers, especially in China, while staying within the letter of U.S. law.
But the administration remained uneasy. Even these watered-down chips, if sold in large quantities, could be combined and networked together, forming the backbone of powerful supercomputers in China, potentially advancing military or surveillance capabilities. The risk was that, in bulk, these chips could still enable China to leap forward in AI and high-performance computing, despite the imposed limits.
The H200 quickly became a bargaining chip in high-stakes negotiations, its future hanging in the balance as policymakers weighed national security against economic interests. Its fate was more than a technicality. It became a test case for the direction of U.S. tech policy and a symbol of the broader struggle between innovation and regulation.
For Nvidia, the stakes were enormous. Losing access to the Chinese market would mean a major financial blow, threatening the company's ability to invest in research and development, and potentially slowing the pace of technological progress.
CEO Jensen Huang urged policymakers to find a pragmatic balance, one that would allow U.S. firms to sell less advanced chips abroad, keeping them competitive and strong, while still denying rivals access to the most advanced technology. The challenge was to protect national interests without stifling the very companies that drive American innovation. The decision on the H200 would set a precedent, shaping how America competes with China in the years to come, without undermining its own champions in the tech industry. Would the U.S. choose a surgical, targeted approach to restrictions, or opt for a sweeping, total blockade? The world was watching. The answer would ripple through the entire tech industry, influencing supply chains, investment decisions, and the future of global innovation. The H200's fate was about more than silicon. It was about strategy, power, and the future of technology itself.
Nvidia has pushed back against proposals requiring U.S. chip makers to serve domestic customers first before selling abroad. On the surface, this America First approach fits the administration's rhetoric. But Nvidia argues it would cripple their global competitiveness, giving rivals like Huawei a chance to catch up. The tech world moves fast. If international customers are forced to wait, they'll look elsewhere. Such mandates would disrupt global supply chains and damage relationships with major customers in Europe, Japan, and beyond. Innovation thrives on open competition, not protectionism. Nvidia's business model depends on being the world's premier AI hardware supplier, not just America's. By opposing the bill, Nvidia is defending its ability to lead globally. Letting the market, not mandates, determine tech's flow is key to staying ahead.
A popular narrative claims that banned Nvidia chips are being smuggled into China in large volumes.
Jensen Huang debunked this, explaining that these aren't pocket-sized chips, they're massive, complex systems. A top-tier GPU system weighs 2 tons, has 1.5 million parts, and costs millions. Smuggling and operating such hardware covertly is nearly impossible. It requires huge power, specialized logistics, and leaves a detectable footprint.
Huang's point, the most dangerous tech is already well controlled.
The focus should remain on truly strategic systems, not on expanding bans to commercially vital lower-tier products. If the crown jewels are secure, there's room to negotiate on the rest.
The fight over AI chips is about more than profits. It's a battle for technological supremacy.
US leadership in semiconductors and AI is vital for economic and national security.
The US aims to slow China's progress by denying access to advanced chips, hoping to extend its lead.
This is digital age containment, with computational power as the new battleground.
But an aggressive blockade could backfire, pushing China to build its own tech ecosystem and split the global market.
Policymakers must balance restricting China's military ambitions with keeping US companies strong.
Huang's message to Washington, Nvidia's global strength is America's asset. Starving it of revenue could do more harm than selling a few thousand modified chips. The real risk is weakening America's tech champions. The chip war is about shaping the future, not just blocking the present. The Trump-Huang meeting highlights a core challenge: balancing innovation with national security.
Security now depends on technological leadership, and policies that foster innovation are themselves security measures.
But overreaching bans risk stifling the very innovation they aim to protect. Tech companies need global markets and open competition to thrive.
Yet, ignoring security risks is dangerous. Selling the most powerful tech to adversaries is self-sabotage.
The answer lies in smart, targeted regulation, not blanket bans.
This requires ongoing dialogue between policymakers and tech leaders, and constant reassessment as technology evolves. The goal: wield the scalpel, not the sledgehammer. Protect the golden goose, but keep it laying eggs. The future depends on getting this balance right. The White House meeting in December 2025 was a signpost for the future. A world where tech CEOs are geopolitical actors.
Decisions about Nvidia's chips will set the tone for US-China tech relations and the global AI race. Stricter controls could split the world into competing AI ecosystems, slowing progress. A more open approach could accelerate innovation but empower rivals.
For US tech, the era of operating apart from Washington is over. The balance between open markets and security will define the next era. The Trump-Huang meeting proves technology is now the central arena for global competition. The future will be shaped by those who decide how technology is shared, controlled, and deployed.